Good morning, all of you. So, yesterday I have completed your budget chapter. In that, I have explained you people about the budget deficit, and I have underlined and I have made the PDF of that, and that also I have sent you people so that you can see and accordingly you'll underline in your book. Okay. Now, today 2 more chapters are left in your syllabus now for class 12 syllabus. Only 2 chapters. Chapter number 8. And in market chapter other things are just removed. Only chapter number 9, 8 and 9, 2 chapters are remaining. 8th chapter is little lengthy, so I'm going to start the same chapter number 8. All of you open your book, chapter number 8, that is called cost and revenue. Before cost and revenue, we have completed laws of return. In that I have explained you about the production function. Then the types of the production function I have explained you, that is short run production function and long run production function. Then I have explained you the law in the short run, and law in the long run is not in your syllabus. Only laws of return to scale, only meaning part is explained, that I have already given you, okay, in chapter number 7. All right. Now, under chapter number 7 is chapter number 7 is actually the base of chapter number 8. If you will understand chapter number 7, then only you will able to understand chapter number 8. Is it clear to all of you? Because chapter number 8 is cost and revenue, and who incur the cost? The producers. And in chapter number 7 we have studied the laws of return, that what is the return which the producer get. Okay, the output which the producer get, how though there is a variation in the output, that we have studied. We have studied about average product, marginal product, total product. All we people have studied under the chapter number 7. So what is average product, what is marginal product, what is total product, that you people have to understand, revise, and you people have to understand the relationship between APMP and TPMP. That these things you people have to understand. Then only you'll able to understand this cost and revenue. Because how much product a producer get? How much product a producer get? All right, that means we have studied in the law of variable proportion, that is the short run law. Okay, we have studied that short run, there is a short run production function, because in short run there are some factors which are variable but other factors are fixed. So there are 2 kinds of the factors in the short run, that is fixed factor and variable factor. Like labor is a variable factor. Producer keep on changing the number of labor on a given amount of fixed factor. What is a fixed factor? Capital, that is machine, suppose. So we have studied that machine has its optimum capacity. So till producer is not reaching to that labor machine ratio, maximum labor machine ratio, or the optimum capacity of the machine, till then the producer will increase the number of labor, then he will get the increasing return. After reaching to the maximum labor machine ratio, if still the producer keep on replacing, all right, imperfect substitute, producer is replacing labor, all right, for machine, which is not the perfect substitute of each other, and that's why that led to what? Diminishing return to scale. And then finally what happened? The machine get overcrowding, there occurs the problem of mismanagement, and the producer start getting the negative return. So we have studied in the law of variable proportion the 3 stages. Increasing return to variable factor, diminishing return to variable factor, and negative return to variable factor, that we people have studied there. Is it clear? So to understand this chapter, children, you people have to revise chapter number 7, all right? Then only you will able to understand, because the link of this chapter is there in the 7th chapter. That is the laws of return, that you people have to understand. Now, return back to this chapter. We'll study cost and revenue. And now, since we know that production is a function, production function is actually different in short run and different in long run. So we will study, first in this chapter we'll completely study about the cost, and then we'll study about the revenue. Okay, and cost, you know, the total amount of money incurred by the producer to produce a commodity. What is revenue? Revenue is nothing but the income earned by the producer, the profit. What is revenue? Revenue is nothing but the normal profit. Whatever cost the producer has incurred, producer has get the return the same, then we can say that there is a normal profit. Is it clear to all of you? So under this, first we will study everything about cost. Now what everything about cost? We'll study what are the various types of cost, basic concept of cost. There are certain concept of cost is there. Like if you open your book, you see the first page itself, you will see first it is given basic concept of cost of production. What are the basic concept of, like first is money cost, which is also called accounting cost, which is also called explicit cost. Second is economic cost. Economic cost is of three. That is money cost or explicit cost, implicit cost, and normal profit. Is it clear? Then you have opportunity cost. Okay. After opportunity cost, also you have real cost, private and social cost. These are the various concept of cost. Means cost can be defined in this way. Cost can be defined in terms of explicit cost. Cost can be defined in terms of implicit cost. Cost can be defined in terms of economic cost, in terms of opportunity cost. So these are not the types of cost. These are the various concept of the cost. Okay. Now, as you know that anything we study in economics has actually two time period. One is short run, one is long run, and there are a lot of differences there in both the period. Like short run is having one factor fixed, one factor variable. Long run, all factors are variable. So the behavior or you can say the relationship of the different variables in short run is completely different from long run, because in long run there is no restriction. In long run all are variable, but in short run there are a lot of restriction. What is the restriction? That producer cannot change the fixed factor. He cannot change the land. He cannot change the capital. He can only change the labor. Okay, so the behavior of cost, or you can say the revenue in short run, is very much different from long run. Okay, so that's why when we study the cost, or we will study the revenue later in this chapter, but we'll first start with the cost. So we'll study how a cost behave in short run, how a cost behave in long run. So behavior of cost in the short run will be completely different from the behavior of cost in the long run. Reason being, in short run there are two factors. Like some factors are variable while others are fixed. So there are two kinds of the factor. But in the long run, there is only one factor. All factors are variable. There is no restriction that producer cannot change this or producer cannot change that. Producer can change all the factors of production. Total scale of production is being changed by the producer in the long run. So you can understand now that short run has completely different structure. Long run has completely different structure. All right. So when we study cost, so we cannot ignore this short run cost and long run cost, because they are completely different from each other. So we need to consider them. And that's why we study behavior of cost in the short run separately, behavior of cost in the long run separately. Is it clear? So that will start later. First, we will study in this chapter about the basic concept of cost. What are the basic concept of the cost? So I'll explain you. At the same time, I'll give you the notes, because from all these concepts, how many concepts are there? Now you see, we have first one, explicit cost. Then we have implicit cost second. Then we have normal profit third. Then we have economic cost fourth. Then we have normal opportunity cost fifth. Then we have real cost sixth, and then we have private cost and social cost, total 7. So out of 7, no need to go in detail. Only you need to know the meaning and if there is a formula, or if there is an example only, and 2 marks question for sure you will get out of this 7 concept of cost. One question every year they ask in the compulsory section. You cannot guess the compulsory section, but in this particular topic you can say that yes, out of the 7, 1 question definitely they are going to ask in your exam. They may ask you what is implicit cost, they may ask you what is explicit cost, they may ask you what is opportunity cost. So any question definitely they are going to ask. Okay, so you people have to learn these 7 concepts. Okay, so I'm going to start the chapter with this 7 concept only. Okay, so write down the name of the chapter number 8, cost and revenue. Okay, and then in this chapter I'll have to explain you the table and schedule that I'll do in the blackboard, but right now these are theoretical. So let me first explain you this 7 concept today. Then tomorrow I'm going to start behavior of cost in the short run. Okay, that I'll complete. Then I'll start the behavior of cost in the long run. After completing that, we'll continue with the revenue part of the chapter. When we'll complete revenue, then this chapter is going to be end. Okay, this chapter is little lengthier, but don't worry, we'll complete. I'll try to complete within this week, like till Saturday I'm planning to complete. Then market chapter will take hardly 3 videos, then your chapter will complete, and then only the numerical of demand chapter will be left. Okay, so that I'll do. Okay, So let us start with this chapter. So write on the heading, basic concept of cost of production. Under this heading, write on the first one, what is the first concept? That is called money cost. It is also called accounting cost, okay, or it is also called explicit cost. So write on the number one, money cost or accounting cost or explicit cost. So term meaning is the same, but they are called by three different names. So sometime in exam they ask what is accounting cost, sometime in exam they ask what is money cost, sometime they ask what is explicit cost. Okay, now so you need to understand. So money cost or explicit cost. Okay, you know, a cost is what? What do you mean by cost? Cost, you know, the total amount of money incurred by the producer in producing a particular commodity, and where the producer incurs the money. Producer incurs the money by purchasing factors of production. So what do you mean by money cost or accounting cost or explicit cost? It means the total amount of money which is being incurred by the firm. What is the firm? The other name of firm is producer. By the firm, okay, to purchase or to hire the factors of production, to purchase or hire the services of the factors. So whatever amount of money a producer incur in purchasing the factors of production, that is called what cost? Explicit cost or money cost or accounting cost. Is it clear? Because producer cannot produce a commodity until and unless it will purchase. In national income also we have studied purchases, factor, services. So whatever amount of money a producer is incurring in purchasing the factor services, that amount of money is called what cost? Explicit cost. So write on the meaning, money cost or accounting cost or explicit cost. So first, I think you people have given the heading basic concepts of cost of production, and the first one is money cost or accounting cost or explicit cost. So write on the meaning, the money expenses which the firm has to incur, the money expenses which the firm has to incur in purchasing the factor services. In purchasing the factor services, the money expenses which the firm has to incur in purchasing the factor services is called explicit cost or money cost or accounting cost. Full stop. Then we need to write the example also. Full stop, then change the paragraph and write. For example, the money expenditure of a firm, after on, give a small dash and write wages and salaries to labor, comma, expenses incurred on machinery and equipment, comma, payment of interest on borrowing, comma, rental payments, comma, payment for raw material, comma, power, etc. Is it clear? That is the meaning of explicit cost. Is it clear? Or you could write in this way also, the money payment made by the firm to the owners of the factors of production for purchasing their factor services is called what cost? Explicit cost. So I think you people have understood this much is needed only for exam. Now, after explicit cost, we'll start the next one, which is called economic cost. Next, number 2, write down economic cost. Economic cost. Okay, so written economic cost. So now you need to understand economic. Economic cost is the cost which consists of 3 more concepts of cost. First is explicit cost or money cost. Second is implicit cost, and third is normal profit. So when we consider all the 3, then together what we get is called economic cost. So under economic cost, write down economic cost consists of money cost or explicit cost, comma, implicit cost and normal profit. So what is the meaning of economic cost? Economic cost consists of money cost or explicit cost, comma, implicit cost and normal profit, full stop. So this is only your money cost. If the question comes, what do you mean by economic cost? Economic cost is the cost which consists of money cost or explicit cost, implicit cost and normal profit. This is your economic cost. Okay. Now explicit cost meaning we have already written. Now write down the third one, that is called implicit cost. Write down the third one, which is called implicit cost. Now try to understand the meaning of implicit cost. Okay, I think explicit cost you people have understood. Like what is explicit cost? The money expenses or the money payment, okay, which the firm made to the owners of the factors of production in purchasing their factor services is called what? It's called explicit cost. Okay, so the money expenses which the firm has to incur in purchasing factor services is called explicit cost. That is explicit. Okay, now what is implicit? Now understand the implicit cost. Okay, for example, a producer has to start a industry, has to establish an industry. Okay, now so what he will do? First thing, he will purchase land, he will appoint labor, he will purchase capital. Okay, and then he himself gives his services. Okay, but suppose if a producer already has a land, he is a owner of a land, so that land is owned by him, so he is a producer as well as a land owner. Now, suppose if he is doing a production and in the process of production, he is using that land. Okay, he's not buying land. He's not doing any expenditure on land. Why he is not doing any expenditure on land? Reason being, he already has a land. So what is implicit cost? Implicit cost is the imputed value of that factor which a producer already owned and used in the process of production. Okay, तो मैंने क्या बोला कि वो जो land है, producer के पास already land थी, तो वो land का owner था, उसने उसी land को production process में use कर लिया, उसको बाहर से खरीदा नहीं. अगर वो बाहर से land खरीदता है तो वो explicit cost हो जाएगा. वो इम्प्लिसिट कॉस्ट कब होगा? जब उसके पास लैंड है, उस लैंड को वो अपने प्रोडक्शन में यूज कर लेगा, तो वो ही इज यूजिंग द फैक्टर for which he is the owner and he is using in the process of production. Then that cost which the producer is incurring is called implicit cost. Means here producer is not doing any kind, but suppose वो land की value है 10 crores. So वो जो 10 crores हो गई वो explicit cost में add नहीं होगी. कहाँ पे add होगी? Implicit cost में. Because what is implicit cost? If the imputed value of the factor which the producer is owned and used in the process of production, that imputed value is called what cost? Implicit cost. I hope you people have understood. बहुत सारी चीजों में क्या होता है? Like suppose a doctor. A doctor is opening, a gynecologist is there, she is opening her nursing home, okay, so she can hire a doctor. In place of hiring a doctor, she herself is a doctor, she is giving her service in that nursing home, means the service which she is providing as well as the property which she is using, the nursing home which she is constructing, there is a difference, because the value, वो किसी और को hire करती तो उसका पैसा बाहर जाता, लेकिन अब वो खुद अपनी सर्विस दे रही है, तो जो सर्विस वो दे रही है उस सर्विस की जो वैल्यू होगी उस सर्विस को क्या बोलेंगे? Implicit cost. Is it clear to all of you? So explicit cost means which a producer is making a payment. Here producer is not making a payment. The imputed value of that factor services which the producer owned and used in his own process of production, then that imputed value is called as implicit cost. So write down the meaning of implicit cost. Imputed or estimated value of inputs. Imputed or estimated value of input owned by the firm and used by it in its own production unit then it is called implicit cost. Full stop. I'm repeating again. The imputed or estimated value of inputs owned by the firm and used by it in its own production unit, then it is called implicit cost. Full stop. Change the paragraph. Implicit cost is the estimated cost of self-owned or self-employed resources. This is the main line. Implicit cost is the estimated cost of self-owned or self-employed resources. Okay, I hope you people have understood the meaning of implicit cost. Now write down the third one, that is called normal profit. Third one, normal profit. Now, what is normal profit? You know, the total, the minimum amount of money, okay, the minimum amount of payment which a producer must get in order to induce him to undertake the risk. मतलब अगर उसने 10 करोड़ लगाए, उसको एटलीस्ट 10 करोड़ मिल जाए ताकि वो इन फ्यूचर बिजनेस में रिस्क लेने के लिए इंटरेस्टेड हो, उसको बोलते हैं नॉर्मल प्रॉफिट. सपोज उसने 10 करोड़ लगाए, उसको 8 करोड़ वापस मिल रहे हैं, सो दैट कैन नॉट बी कंसिडर्ड एज अ सिचुएशन वेयर प्रोड्यूसर कैन टेक द करेज टू टेक अ रिस्क टू डू द प्रोडक्शन अगेन इन द फ्यूचर. ही कैन नॉट डू दैट. रीजन बीइंग what he has incurred, he got less than that. So he will never take a risk to start a business or to continue the business. He will exit the market. To remain in the market, the producer must get the normal profit. Means he must get the minimum payment back which he has incurred in the process of production. That is called normal profit. Okay? So write down all of you. Normal profit, under this you write the minimum payment which a producer must get. The minimum payment which the producer must get in order to induce him to undertake the risk involved in production. The minimum payment which a producer must get in order to induce him, induce means encourage him to undertake the risk involved in production. Full stop. This is normal profit. Okay. Now economic cost की meaning तुम लोगों ने क्या लिखी? Economic cost consist of. In place of consist of you write economic cost is the sum total of. Okay. In place of consist of in economic cost you write economic cost is the sum. In place of consist of you write sum total of. Economic cost is the sum total of money cost, explicit cost, comma, implicit cost and normal profit. That change you people. In place of consist of you write sum total of. Okay. So we have completed the fourth one. First we have done money cost, then we have done economic cost, then we have done implicit cost. Now we have done normal profit. Write down opportunity cost. That is the fifth one. Right? Opportunity cost. Now, what is opportunity cost? You need to understand. Okay. Now, opportunity, taking an opportunity to incur a cost on the commodity. Okay. Which is the next best alternative? One term is their next best alternative. Okay. In class 11, तुम लोगों ने पढ़ा economic problem. What is economic problem? Economic problem is unlimited human want, limited resources. Unlimited resources have alternative uses. हमारे पास resources limited है. हर resource की alternative use है. मतलब हर resource को हम लोग multiple तरीके से use कर सकते हैं. We are using them for multiple purpose. That create a problem of choice. What is the problem of choice? Like any resource is there which can be used to produce butter or gun. And if we are using that resource for the production of butter, then we are sacrificing the production of gun. Butter and gun both are the best alternate of each other. We cannot say that we don't need butter. We need gun because we need security of the country. What about the food? We need to provide the food to the people. So gun is important in today's scenario. Reason being we need to protect our nation, which is very important. At the same time, butter is also important because that is the basic thing which is needed for survival. In both the condition, we will not able to survive. If we will not able to secure our nation, protect our nation from enemy, will not survive. If we will not able to provide a food to the people, then also we will not survive. So can we say that butter is more important, gun is less important, or gun is less important, gun is more important, butter is less important? Can we say that? No, we cannot say that because both are important. So both are the best alternate of each other. But the country cannot produce both in excess quantity. Reason being, we have a problem of limited resources. We have studied production possibility curve. If you remember in class 11th, that we have studied that economy uses its resources, various combinations. If an economy decided to produce more of butter, then definitely it will produce less of gun. If an economy is deciding to produce more of gun, then economy cannot produce more of butter. In that condition, it has to reduce the production of butter. So because both are the best alternative of each other. So if a country took a decision to produce butter, means country took a decision to sacrifice the, so दो decision हमेशा economy साथ में लेती है. पहला अगर वो ये ले रही है डिसीजन कि वो बटर का प्रोडक्शन ज्यादा करेगी, तो मतलब साइमल्टेनियसली वो ये भी डिसीजन ले रही है कि वो गन का प्रोडक्शन कम करेगी. वो गन के प्रोडक्शन को सैक्रिफाइस, इट विल सैक्रिफाइस द प्रोडक्शन ऑफ गन so that it can able to produce more production of butter. So two decisions a country or economy take together. Okay, so here country took an opportunity. That's why the name is opportunity cost. Now try to understand the meaning of opportunity cost. What is the line you people have to write for the opportunity cost? You have to write producing any good. Okay, the opportunity cost. The country, the economy took the opportunity to incur a cost of producing that good, which is the next best alternative good, that is given up. Given up means that is sacrificed to produce this good. मतलब country ये opportunity ले रही है to produce butter, okay, to produce butter, which is the next best alternative of the good, that is gun, which is sacrificed to produce butter. Is it clear? मतलब कंट्री बटर का प्रोडक्शन कर रही है जो कि बेस्ट ऑल्टरनेटिव है उस गुड का जो कंट्री सैक्रिफाइस कर रही है ताकि वो बटर का प्रोडक्शन कर पाए. उसको कहते हैं अपॉर्चुनिटी कॉस्ट. सो अपॉर्चुनिटी कॉस्ट हैज इट्स ओन टेक्निकल टर्म which is there in the definition. You cannot change this. You cannot write in your own language. So what do you people have to write in the meaning that I'm telling you? So write down the meaning of opportunity cost. The opportunity cost, don't write opportunity, right? The opportunity cost of producing any good. The opportunity cost of producing any good is the next best alternative. If you will write the meaning of opportunity cost without this keyword, next best alternative, you will get 0 marks. So what is the keyword for the opportunity cost? Next best alternative. Is it clear? So write down all of you. The opportunity cost of producing any good is the next best alternative good that is given up to produce this good that is given up to produce this good. Full stop. Is it clear? So what is opportunity cost? The opportunity cost of producing any good is the next best alternative good that is given up to produce this good. It's called opportunity cost. Only meaning is needed here. Okay. Now next write down real cost. Next, all of you write down real cost, okay? That is, I think, the 6th one. Write down the real. What is real cost? Now, try to understand. First thing you need to understand, all other costs are expressed in monetary terms. Real cost is not expressed in monetary terms. We cannot express in monetary terms. Real cost means whatever pain, whatever sacrifices owners of the factors of production does to produce a commodity. Means the time which they can spend with their family members, or the time which they can spend for themselves, they're not spending that. They are sacrificing those things and they're using that time, all right, to produce a commodity. So that is actually something cannot be measured in monetary terms. That's why that's called real cost. That actually is the real cost that cannot be expressed in monetary terms. Is it clear? Because we cannot count the pain. We cannot count the sacrifices. Okay, those are not subjective. Those are objective. Is it clear? So we cannot express them. So something which cannot be expressed in monetary terms is the real cost. Is it clear? So write down the meaning of real cost, all of you. the effort and sacrifices made by the owners of the factors of production, the effort and sacrifices made by the owners of the factors of production, the effort and sacrifices made by the owners of factors of production in the production of a commodity, in the production of the commodity is called real cost. What is the key word? Effort and sacrifices. The effort and sacrifices made by the owners of the factors of production in the production of a commodity is called real cost. Full stop. Then write, then change the paragraph, then write, real cost refers to the pain, sacrifices, discomfort. Real cost refers to the pain, sacrifices, discomfort, and disutility involved in providing factor services in the production of commodity. In providing factor services in the production of commodity is called real cost. Full stop. Is called real cost, which is not expressed in monetary terms. Full stop. This is your real cost. I hope you people have understood the meaning of real cost. Now, the last one, let me complete the last one. Then I'll start tomorrow the behavior of cost in the short run. The last one, private and social cost. Okay, they are linked together. They are always linked. Private and social cost linked together. अब एग्जाम में तुमसे ये भी पूछ सकते हैं, differentiate between money cost and implicit cost. Differentiate between explicit cost and implicit cost. अगर ये पूछेंगे तो meaning और formula example लिखोगे तुम. What is explicit cost? The money expenses of the firm incurred to purchase or hire the factor services is called explicit cost. What is implicit cost? The estimated or imputed value of input owned by the firm and used by it in its own production unit is called what? Implicit. Question किसी भी तरीके से हो सकते हैं. या तो meaning पूछ लेंगे, या पूछ लेंगे कि difference between, या पूछ लेंगे explain the types of economic cost. तो अगर explain the types of economic cost पूछते हैं तो तुमको 3 explain करना पड़ेगा. पहला explicit cost, दूसरा implicit cost, तीसरा normal profit. Is it clear? So question can be anything, or they will ask you differentiate between the 7th one, private and social cost. Okay, now try to understand private and social cost, the last one. Okay, now what is private cost? Private cost is the cost of production incurred by individual firm in producing a commodity. जो भी cost कोई भी producer incur करता है किसी भी commodity को produce करने में, उसको private cost कहते हैं, क्योंकि वो उसका decision है to do the production. तो वो उसके लिए जो भी cost incur करेगा वो उसका private cost होगा. That is called private cost. Now, जब कोई भी प्रोड्यूसर प्रोडक्शन करता है, लाइक नाउअडेज वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट एनवायरमेंटल इश्यूज, जैसे नॉइज पॉल्यूशन होती है, वाटर पॉल्यूशन होता है. इज इट क्लियर? बिकॉज वॉट एवर वेस्ट प्रोडक्ट ऑफ द इंडस्ट्रीज आर देयर दैट आर एक्चुअली डिस्पोज्ड ऑफ, डिस्चार्ज टू द water bodies, and it is actually polluting our water bodies. Then harmful gases are released from the industries. It is polluting our atmosphere. Our air is getting what to say, air also become, there is a pollution occur in the air, that is called air pollution. Okay, then similarly a noise which is being created for producing a commodity, that also create noise pollution. So either noise pollution or air pollution or water pollution caused several diseases in the society. Several kinds of the diseases are occurring. Okay, several, we have studied enough about it. So those diseases are occurring, and whatever amount which the society bear to cure that disease, and the disease they got, the society, the members of the society have got those diseases not because of their personal activity, but because of the process of production which is done in the society. Then that cost which they are bearing, all right, to cure the disease, which the disease they get because of the pollution which is being created by the process of production, is called social cost. The cost which is beared by the society due to the process of production, because process of production creates several kinds of the pollution which increases several kinds of the diseases in the society. And to cure those diseases, whatever amount of money expenses done by the members of the society is called social cost. I think you people have understood now. So write down private cost and social cost, and write down the meaning of private cost. The cost of production incurred by the individual firm. The cost of production incurred by the individual firm in producing a commodity. The cost of production incurred by the individual firm in producing a commodity is called private cost. Is called private cost. Full stop. Then write. Private cost is same as economic cost. Private cost is same as economic cost. Private cost, economic cost एक ही चीज होती है. ठीक है? अब write down the social cost. Right, the meaning of social cost. The cost that the society has to bear on account of the production of a commodity. The cost that the society has to bear on account of the production of a commodity is called social cost. Is called social cost. Full stop. Then there is the formula of social cost. Write down. Social cost is equal to private cost plus external cost. Social cost is equal to private cost plus external cost. Okay. Now what is external cost? वो भी तुमको लिखना पड़ेगा इसमें. So write down the meaning of external cost. So what is private cost? I've told you. The cost of production incurred by the individual firm in producing a commodity is called private cost. What is social cost? The cost that the society has to bear on account of the production of a commodity is called social cost. What is the formula of social cost? Social cost is equal to private cost plus external cost. Now we need to write the meaning of last one, that is external cost. So write down external cost. Right. The cost that is not borne by the firm but is incurred by other member of the society. The cost that is not borne by the firm but is incurred by other members of the society or the entire society is called external cost. Is called external cost. Is it clear? So today I have completed the basic concept of cost of chapter number 8, and one question definitely you will get in your exam. One question so write basic concept of cost of production, important, and all you people have to learn, and only the meaning and the example you people have to learn. Okay, now write on the next topic which I am going to do tomorrow. Okay, that is called behavior of cost in the short run. Okay, now we will start about the cost and the type of the cost. Till now we have studied about the basic concept of the cost. Okay, how the cost is defined. Cost is defined in 7 different ways that we people have studied. Now the next topic which we are going to start is the behavior of cost in the short run. Is it clear? Okay, so most probably I'll complete this chapter, means till Friday. I'm trying to complete this chapter till Friday. If possible, I'll complete it till Friday. Then I'll take 3 more days to complete the chapter called market, only one chapter. Okay, so means almost we'll complete the chapter, and then only numerical will be left. That 2-3 videos it will take, and then that numerical will be done. Okay, so for today it's a long video, children, so have patience and see, and please write down the notes, because in your book many thing extra is given, so that is not needed for this basic concept. Whatever is needed I have done in this video. Please see this video full, and please see this video by opening your book. Okay, so thank you, children.